Have you used the Saucony Endorphin line of running shoes? In this video, I'm comparing my time with the Saucony Endorphin Speed 1 and 2. I understand these two shoes aren't the latest version in the line, but if you come across a deal on either pair of these, should you grab them? And if so, which one?
Today I'm going to look at whether the original Saucony Endorphin Speed is the better choice compared to the Endorphin Speed 2. If you don't want to spend $180 for the new Endorphin Speed 3, you can still find these shoes on Amazon or places like Running Warehouse as well. See the links in my video description to take you to these running shoes. FYI, the black shoe is the original Endorphin Speed, while the gray option here today is my Endorphin Speed 2. The original Endorphin Speed is 33mm in the heel and 25mm in the forefoot, bringing the drop of the shoe to a comfortable 8mm. For my size of 12, it weighs in at 9.4 ounces. This is extremely light for a running shoe, so it's a nice surprise here. Saucony chose to go lighter on the tread side of the shoe to reduce the weight. This method definitely works for the shoe, but you may have to be more careful in wet conditions. The Power Run PB midsole material adds great cushioning to this shoe while also being light and responsive. A big change to this type of shoe was adding the nylon plate to it. The nylon plate bends and snaps you forward to help add to your momentum. This makes up the speed roll technology Saucony introduced with the Endorphin line. You can feel this when trying on the shoe. It has a different feel compared to many shoes, but once you start running, you can literally feel how it helps. The upper for the first Endorphin Speed is comfortable and well put together. It could have used more vents in the upper to cool your feet off a little more, and the tongue is comfortable as well, but I would have liked it to be a little bit bigger. Let's talk about a few positives for the shoe. So this shoe has really made more of an impact in my running than any shoe I can remember in the past. It was an absolute joy to run in. I would have to actually slow my pace down because once I warmed up running with this shoe, I would easily start running faster than I intended for that day. Again, it's a fantastic training or race shoe. I love the comfort and speed roll technology, the way it propels you forward. It's just a nice feel when you're running. So it really makes it feels easier to run faster paces in this shoe compared to other running shoes. I think this is really a combination of the lightweight of the shoe with the speed roll technology. From a durability standpoint, I've really had no issues with this shoe at all. There's very little wear on the tread on the bottom, even though it's limited. I ran a 12K in this pair back in November of 2022 and it worked out great. So honestly, the shoes seem to have the same bounce from when I had them brand new, and this is after close to 100 miles in them. Now let's talk about just a few negatives. So the Endorphin Speed, the original, is not a shoe to move laterally in. It's really made to run straight ahead. Walking in it is okay, but these shoes are really made to run fast in. And also going around tight curves or wet conditions, I had to let up a little bit with my pace or just be more careful so I didn't slip. The original Endorphin Speed does have a tighter toe box than I would like. It's still comfortable, but I prefer a little more room there. And really all these negatives are just strictly nitpicking a little bit because there's not many negatives with it. It's a very, very good shoe overall. The Saucony Endorphin Speed 2 is a better version of the original that I just spoke about. Instead of talking about the same topics again, I'm just going to mention the parts I think are better on the second version or worse. Both are fantastic shoes, so let's see what's a little different about the two versions. With the Endorphin Speed 2, some of the new features included a snugger heel fit, a more breathable mesh, upper mesh that is, a soft suede detailing, and an anti-slip laces that help you lock in a little bit better. Let's start with the positives for the Endorphin Speed 2. So first off, for my size of a 12 is what I wear, it was only 9.1 ounces. This is actually lighter compared to the original, which came in at 9.4. This is amazing for a running shoe. It's a extremely light running shoe that obviously makes running easier. The toe box appears to have more room on this version as well. This could be due to the improved lacing, but I doubt it. This was one of my complaints with the original, so I was glad to see a little bit more room in the toe box. The tongue is bigger and doesn't fall under the laces like it potentially could in the previous version. It wasn't bad with the original Speeds, but it's definitely better here on this version. A better breathable mesh is noticeably improved, and it keeps the feet cooler when you run in the Speed 2, so that's definitely a nice subtle change as well. There really isn't many negatives here. Kind of reaching here, but the pull tab on the heel is thin and not really helpful in my opinion. It just seems like it was added on for no particular reason. The lacing system is great, but the laces should have been longer out of the box. Kind of run out of lace space on them, but it does keep it more secure on your foot. The shoes are still made for running fast and straight, so again, on tight curves like the original, you may have to slow your pace a little more than you like to because it's not as stable when you run on tight curves. Out of the two shoes, the Endorphin Speed 2 is the better shoe, but there isn't a big difference. Saucony made subtle changes to the Speed 2 that makes it better, but they didn't alter anything that makes the Endorphin Speed great. Currently, I alternate runs with both the original Endorphin Speed and the Speed 2. Both feel like the same exact shoe except for the few subtle updates I mentioned earlier. If you find a good deal on either of these shoes, go ahead and grab them. I recently purchased my Endorphin Speed 2s for around $70 when Saucony had a door busting sale. You can get these shoes for a great price even if you have your eyes on the Endorphin Speed 3. These running shoes are some of, if not the best running shoes I've used.
Thank you for joining me for this video on the Saucony Endorphin Speed 1 and 2. Maybe this video helped you decide if you need to check out this line of shoes or even the third version that came out earlier last year. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you haven't already. Have a good day. I'll see you soon.